Got a little time this morning. About to get my build on, man. I got about an hour to chop it up with y'all, man. How everybody living? Give everybody a chance to tune on in and tap in with the kid before I start diving into this powerful topic. So how this Sunday treating y'all, man? Hopefully y'all had a good Saturday evening and y'all starting this Sunday off on a good and powerful note, being productive, efficient, healthy, all that good stuff, man. So I'm gonna give everybody a chance, tune on in and tap in with the kid before I start building, man. What's the word? How y'all living? How y'all feeling, man? Y'all already know by the title of this particular video, we got some things to talk about, man. This is a very powerful topic. Frankie, peace. What's happening with you? What's the word? So Debonair, peace. What's happening? What's the word? How everybody living? Zeke, peace. What's happening, my brother? What's the word? How this Sunday morning treating everybody? Kurt, peace. What's happening? What is the word? Craig, peace. What's going on? How my brothers living, man? How y'all living out here? Hopefully y'all keeping it positive and powerful out here, man. That's 2 P's, positive and powerful. Avid, peace. What's happening? What's the word? My brother Malik, you and that Cali son, man. Give me about 4 more years, man. Give me about 3 more years when the lease run out on this particular building, man. I'm gonna be out that way soon. Craig, man, everything is peaceful my way, man. Y'all see the topic, man. Y'all see the topic. Y'all see the title of this, man. We got to talk about the feminist movement and is it detrimental to the black community? I'm asking y'all first before I add my 2 cents, 5 cents, however many cents I decide to add today. I'm gonna ask y'all first. Speaky, peace, what's happening? Do y'all feel as though? Oh, Zeke, man, backstory, man. I was on my way. I was about to be in Vegas actually before this pandemic hit, and like I was getting interviews. I had everything lined up to go out to Vegas, man. I was gonna be in Vegas. I actually had an interview at a place in it was back when I was working in banking. I had an interview. I think that was in Oakland or something. So I was on my way out that way, man. The pandemic hit, and I came across this opportunity here in St. Louis to get my space and get things off the ground. So I'm gonna fulfill my purpose here. But once that purpose is fulfilled, man, I'm definitely going out west, man. That's where I see myself in regards to my training and my fitness. That's where I'm gonna take everything to the next level. But I was on my way out that way for sure. Nanya, peace, what's happening? But yeah, let me ask y'all, man, do y'all feel as though the feminist movement is detrimental to the black community? And if so, why do you feel that way? If you feel it's detrimental, why do you feel that way? If you feel like it's not detrimental, why do you feel that way? I think it's only fair that I allow y'all to build on this topic too. I don't want to just force my perspective on people. I want to give everybody a chance to go ahead and express themselves in regards to the subject matter. How y'all feel about the feminist movement in relation to the black community, the black struggle? Y'all feel it's detrimental? Y'all feel like it's beneficial? Y'all feel like the feminist movement is necessary? What do y'all feel, man? How y'all feel about it? I pretty much know how how some of y'all feel, but I want y'all to type it out, man. I want y'all to type it out. I want y'all to talk to me. How y'all feel about it? My brother Malik say been killing us since the 60s. You already know. You already know. But how y'all feel about it, man? What's y'all perspective, man? How y'all feel? How y'all feel? All right, so Debonair, what you say? Absolutely. It originally was put in place to break up the civil rights movement. Got you? Okay. Okay. Patrick, peace. What's happening? Craig, you say some aspects are and some aren't detrimental. When it comes to our sisters, sometimes they lean too much on the detrimental side. Okay, got you. Trabian, you say I'm all for the women, but it's definitely not necessary. Okay. Sneaky, what you say, it takes away progress as a whole collective. Okay, here we go. Jaquan, you say it's destroying the black It say destroying the minds and wounds in the process. Okay, got you. Zeke say been detrimental for decades. Our boy Malik say, I feel like it's detrimental due to it giving women a false sense of reality. They create a mindset that's counterproductive to the cooperation and building of our community. Right and exact. Okay. Patrick, you say it was a movement that had nothing to do with empowering black women. For sure. Thunder, you say agree with that. There were some things necessary but grew out of control. Okay, see, we building. We building. We building. Y'all know how I feel about it for the most part. Historically speaking, always go back to how white women were treated by their men back in the day. A lot of this movement stems from that. So the white man, like a lot of times, when you look at deadbeats, when you look at abusers, when you look at things like that, nowadays, our images pop up. But the original deadbeat, the original abuser, is what the white man was doing to the white woman. So the white woman was getting mistreated terribly by the white man. Like the white man did not respect, and still to this day, does not respect his woman. So to combat that, that's where that feminist movement sprang from here in the United States, the wilderness of North America. The white woman was getting tired of being mistreated, treated like a slave by the white man. So they had to fight against that white man. They had to combat that. And they came up with this feminist movement in the wilderness of North America. So in that sense, that's where a lot of this stuff stems from. When you tie in black people and how we came into the mix, it wasn't really any need for a movement like that because we always dealt with the collective. It was always the black man, woman, and child. We always dealt with it like that. We don't have a strong history prior to coming to the wilderness of North America. It wasn't a strong history of us abusing and treating our women like slaves. We didn't have a strong history of that. Matter of fact, that didn't even make any sense to us. What happened was, in time, we became corrupted, being in this system and whatnot, and a lot of us took on the ways and actions of our oppressor, and then we started to mimic or emulate their treatment or mistreatment of their women. So at points, I can kind of see why black women felt a certain type of way when it came to being mistreated by black men and things of that nature, because you have a lot of black men out here that have emulated the ways and actions of the white oppressor. But for the most part, historically speaking, we were never on that type of vibe. We were never on that type of time. We always respected the black woman. We always embraced the black woman. We always loved the white woman. I mean, not the white, whoa now. Y'all don't quote me on that one. We always loved the black woman. We always loved the black woman. Now, hold on. Let me read some. Magic Peace, what's happening? Oh, Craig, yep, and that's exactly what I was just talking about. Historically speaking, we was never on that type of vibe. See, historically speaking, for us, we always dealt with roles. Everybody knew their role. Even when you study ancient cultures to this day, I mean, you can go on YouTube right now and you can just start studying. You can look up ancient cultures and watch videos about ancient cultures. And this is even outside of Africa. You can go anywhere and you can go look up indigenous cultures, these ancient cultures, and you will see one thing in common. The women, and the men have roles, and everybody knows and plays their role. Everybody, if you study all the ancient cultures, I guarantee you, there will be things that they say the women do. There will be things that they say the men do. Guarantee you, and everybody knows their role, and everybody adheres to their role, and everybody respects the role of the other person. Everybody knows their role, everybody plays their position, and everything flows according to that reality. We were no different. We had roles. Men do this, women do that. Now the roles are gone. There are no roles. If you start talking about roles these days, then you might as well, listen, you the most wicked person on the planet if you start talking about roles. But it's crazy. A lot of times, the only people that face the heat when they talk about roles are us men. When we start talking about roles in regards to things we feel like women should do, then all of a sudden, like, we are going to get condemned for that. But, but, but a lot of women can tell us what we supposed to do, and it's not a problem. So I do have a problem with that. So when we start conversing and we start saying, all right, I feel like the role of a woman is this, that, and the third, we get shunned, we get called male chauvinists, we get called sexist, all type of nonsense. But then they can come out and tell you what a man's supposed to do. Well, man, if a man takes a woman out, he's supposed to pay for the meal. If a man is doing this for, he's supposed to pay all the bills. He's supposed to do this, that, and the third. Wait a minute. But then if I say a woman is supposed to clean, then I'm evil just for saying that. That might be the only thing I said. That might be the only thing I said. If I say that, though, then now I'm evil. I'm wicked. And see, I feel like the feminist movement is behind a lot of this nonsense. The feminist movement has made it, or they have, like, the feminist movement has now made it to be frowned upon when you talk about roles. I feel like the feminist movement is behind a lot of that nonsense. So now it's frowned upon when you talk about roles, and I feel like the feminist movement has a lot to do with that. You can't talk about roles these days. You can't talk about roles these days. You can't. And it's nonsense. If you about to be able to tell me what I need to be doing as a man, then I feel like I got the right to tell you what you need to be doing as a woman. Because at the end of the day, it's a team, man. It's a team effort. If we coming together to be in a relationship, it's a man, it's a woman, and then we have children. This is a role, like, it's a team, man. It's a squad. It's a squad. You know what I'm saying? So we got to understand that it is a squad. So when you have a squad, everybody has a role. And I'm not about to just let you tell me what to do. That's not how it's gonna work. It's never it's never gonna work like that. So I feel like, in a sense, the feminist movement has, as my man's Malik said, gave them a false sense of reality to the point where they think they about to tell a man what to do, but then nobody can tell them what to do. That's backwards. That's backwards. And I'm all for it. And what's crazy is, some of the times, man, when they say things, like when they bring up things that they feel like a man should do, a lot of us men are already doing what they are saying that we should do. So we have no problem with it. A lot of us, if we take the woman out for a date, a lot of us just gonna pay anyway because we was raised like that. If I take that woman out on that date, I was raised to pay for that date. Like, so we was already raised like this primarily. So they not really telling us anything new. So when we start bringing it back to the basics and say, all right, cool, you know what I'm saying? No problem. I can take care of that. But this is what you need to do. The moment you say that as a man, it's a problem. That's where the feminists come out of nowhere and start attacking you. Well, why should I stay at home with the kids? Why should I just clean? Why should I just cook? What? And I've talked to a lot of elder women, and this is what they say. They say, man, these young women don't know how to keep a man because they don't cook. They don't want to clean. They don't want to do things like that. These elders then told me straight up. These elders then told me straight up, we losing our way. We losing our way. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with the feminist movement, man. A lot of our women are losing their way, man. We got to get back to the basics where everybody knew and understood their role. When everybody knew and understood their role. And I'm not saying, once again, because I already know. See, this is the thing too, when you when the feminists want to argue, you got to already know the arguments that they're going to bring to the table. I already know the argument that they're going to bring to the table when we start talking about the elders back in the day, like our grandmothers and things of that nature. I already know what they're going to say. They're going to start talking about how they were getting cheated on. And this is what they will say too. Because a lot of our grandmothers, a lot of the people back in the day, a lot of the women back in the day, they didn't work and things of that nature. They stayed at home. So they're going to say, well, they had to take that abuse. They had to take that mistreatment because they didn't have anywhere else to go. See, this is what I say. So we already know your argument. So that's good. Glad you brought that up. So we supposed to take what happened in the past and we supposed to improve upon that. So let's improve upon that. Let's say, okay, women back then, they knew and understood their role. Okay, but some of them would still get mistreated. Some of them were still getting abused, and they felt like they didn't have anywhere to go because they were staying at home. They didn't have any income for themselves. And a lot of that largely is a myth, because there was a lot of hardworking elder women back in the day. Like my granny worked, so I don't even know where some of these women get that from, because there was a lot of women back in the day that was grinding, working 3 or 4 jobs, things of that nature. So it was a lot of women back in the day that was working, and not all of them was staying at home. But even still, when they was working, they knew and understood the role of the woman when they were in a relationship and things like that. And that's just how we improve upon it. So if you feel like, well, you know what, back in the day, they were not working, they were just staying at home, and that's why they was tolerating all the abuse and the mistreatment. Well, if you feel that way, then just make sure you generate your own revenue, but let's still adhere to the roles. So you can go out, you can work, you can make your money, you ain't got to stay at home. But let's just still adhere to the role. It's certain things that a woman is going to do in a relationship. It's certain things that a man is going to do in a relationship. Let's still respect the roles. Let's still respect the roles. That's all we ask. Craig, Thunder, appreciate the donations. Appreciate them. Lachelle, Peace Queen, what's happening? Thunder, I've literally had that discussion a million times. Talking about the man being the head of the household, things of that nature, the man bringing that order, laying down the rules and the regulations, and the woman being the enforcer. And I've literally had that same statement verbatim come back to me. I'm not about to let a man tell me what to do. Even in regards to things like when like you will see Facebook posts come up, and you will see somebody ask a question like, "Men, would you allow your woman to wear this out?" And it'll be a very revealing outfit and things of that nature. It's like, but you that comfortable revealing yourself to all these strangers in this wicked world that we live in, and then when they respond accordingly, now you all in your feelings, you upset, you couldn't enjoy yourself because you chose to wear this revealing outfit in a place where it's gonna be a bunch of savages. But simply because you want to rebel against the orders of the man, you gonna go out here and wear that revealing outfit, and then you gonna get all that type of energy coming your way. Then you gonna get mad when people view you in that light. You in a whole relationship, you in a whole marriage, and you chose to wear this revealing outfit, and now you want to get in your feelings about, man, these dudes coming up me, they disrespecting me, they trying to talk to me whole while I'm married, I'm tied down. Well, why do you think they feel the need to, why do you think they feel like they can approach you that type of way? Your man told you or suggested that you not wear that, but since you want to rebel against what he is saying, you chose to wear that revealing outfit, and now you mad that these dudes coming up to you not respecting your relationship or your marriage. All you have to do is listen to your mans, man. Just like y'all talk about women intuition, and y'all talk about how men need to listen to y'all when y'all have that feeling. Sometimes it's okay to listen to the man when it comes to things like that, and a lot of times it doesn't revolve around the man trying to control you. See, women got to get that out of their heads and their minds. I know we done been traumatized. I know y'all done been through things. I know some of y'all have trust issues when it comes to dealing with controlling men. But a lot of us are not on that type of vibe. We are literally looking out for your health and well-being. We don't want you going out the house like that, especially if I'm not with you. Like, you might not want to wear that, man, especially considering where you about to go wearing that particular outfit. I don't trust you. It ain't even that I don't trust you. Sometimes I don't trust the environment, the people around you. Like, if I know you going to one of those places where it's a bunch of dogs, man, a bunch of savages, and you want to wear the most revealing outfit, like, nah, it ain't about you at that point. It's about the attention that I know you're going to get or generate from that outfit and the dudes that's going to come with that type of attention. So y'all sleeping on dudes. I honestly feel like y'all sleeping on that. When the dude care enough to tell you, like, I don't think you should wear that, like, man, that dude, like, listen, you should embrace a person like that. Embrace a man like that. And I'm not saying if it's like, you can obviously tell if somebody just trying to be controlling. But embrace a dude that loves you enough to tell you the truth. Like, nah, I don't really feel comfortable with you wearing that out. because you go into this particular environment, you're gonna be in this particular environment with with those clothes on or lack thereof, and I know the type of attention that comes with that type of outfit in that type of environment. I don't necessarily feel comfortable with you wearing that. That's a truthful dude. That's an honest dude that's looking out for you. He could be like, you know what, just go do you. Meaning he ain't really concerned. You just go do you because I'm gonna be out here doing me. But if he love you enough that he's concerned, like, man, I don't want you wearing that, man. I really don't feel comfortable with you wearing that, man. Like, I don't feel like that's a good outfit to wear, man, with this particular crowd. Man, embrace that, man. Embrace that, man. You got a black man that cares about you out here. Like, if he know that he's not going to be able to physically be there to protect you, he's trying to make sure you do everything in your abilities to protect yourself. I feel like those type of black men are underrated, underappreciated. Sharif man for sure, and that's what I be telling them. I've had that conversation with my queen plenty of times. I'm like, listen, I was once that dude, man. We know how it is to be men, and sisters really don't understand that. A lot of times, my sisters look at things for how it should be, not how it is. Oh, I should be able to wear whatever I want. Yes, you should be able to do that, but that's not the reality. That's not the reality. You should be able to wear whatever you want without thirsty dudes attacking you. You should be able to do that. You should be able to wear whatever you want without dudes viewing you in a certain light. You should. You should be able to do that. But guess what? That's not the reality. Just like as a black man, I should be able to wear whatever color I want to wear in whatever neighborhood. But that's not a reality. That's not a reality. If I wear red on the wrong side of town, that may cost me my life, and I'm not affiliated with any type of gang. That's the reality. The fantasy is I should be able to wear whatever color I want to wear as a black man anywhere on any side of town. That's the fantasy, but that's not the reality. So a lot of times my sisters have a hard time separating the two. Your fantasy is not reality. You should be able to move a certain type of way, but that's not the reality. And as a man, I know this. So if you're about to wear a certain type of outfit and you're about to you about to be in a certain environment where it's going to be a lot of thirsty dudes, yeah, you may still get approached, even if you cover yourself up. But let's be real. Let's just be real in the field, man. Let's just be real, because a lot of sisters say this, but let's just be real. It's a whole different ball game when a brother sees a sister that barely has any clothes on, opposed to the sister that has herself covered up. It's just a different ball game, man. It's just a different ball game. The approach is not going to be the same. Come on, I'm a man and been there, done that. You see a sister that has barely anything on, you approaching her a lot differently than you approach the queen that got herself covered up. That's just a fact. That is a fact. That is just a fact. I'm not saying that is right. I'm just saying that's a fact. It's different. Not saying that you won't still get approached, but the approach is going to be different. The approach is going to be different. When men see skin, like, we automatically think they offering it. Like, all right, they showing all this skin, then they going for it. They going. So you're going to approach them according to that vibe. Not saying that it's right, but in our minds, like when you a savage man out here in your mind, that's how you viewing it. That's how you viewing it. That's how you viewing it. That is how you viewing it. When you see that sister that's skin, showing all skin, in your mind, she going. Like, all right, hold on. Like, she showing all that skin. She barely got anything on. She throwing herself out here like that. When you see that sister that's covered up, like, you gonna think twice about approaching her. Like, you gonna think twice. You might still approach her, but you gonna think twice. You like, hold on, she covered up. Hold on, she might be one of them. So you gonna think twice about approaching her. But when she ain't got any clothes on, when she barely got any clothes on, you don't care what you say to her, man. You gonna come with all the disrespect, because you gonna feel like that she going for it. She throwing herself out here. She disrespecting herself by walking out the house like that. I didn't been back in the day, man. When I used to go out back in the day, man, I would see women with no clothes on, like barely any clothes on, in the middle of December. I'm talking about it's cold, man. I'm like, man, I'm freezing. No clothes on in the middle of December. How you think dudes finna approach you? If I see that you don't care about yourself enough to come out the crib in the middle of December with clothes on, like, come on, man. How you think I'm gonna approach you? Why would I, like CeeLo said, man, you gotta respect yourself before I can. If you coming out the crib, little to no clothes on, the middle of the winter, why am I going to think twice about approaching you? Come on, man. That is just that's how the mind of a man is wired. You know? That's how it is. Jason, peace. What's happening? And so a lot of times I feel like my sisters, y'all need to take heed to that, man. Just like y'all, and what's crazy, it's a lot of hypocrisy that goes in, because I done been in situations where women tell me, it's like, when you a man and you going into a place where it's going to be a lot of women, a lot of times the woman would say, I'm not really concerned about you. I don't trust other women. So it's like, all right, you able to offer that, but then when I tell you I don't feel like you should wear that because I know how men are, then now you don't want to accept that. You don't want to receive that. But if I was going somewhere and I was about to wear a certain type of clothing, you was like, man, I know how women are, I'm supposed to accept that. But if I'm telling you not to do something because I know how men are, then you want to look at me like I'm trying to be controlling. Like, nah, man, don't do that. Don't do that, man. Accept that. Embrace that. If your man is telling you like, nah, I don't feel like that's cool for you to wear that because you going to this place where all these dudes gonna be, you gonna give them the wrong impression. Like, listen to him. Nothing is wrong with listening to your man. Nothing. Y'all got to understand the importance. And again, this all ties back, everything we're talking about ties back into this feminist movement, man, because as my man said, it gives them that false sense of reality. The art of listening to your man has been lost. Has been lost. A lot of myself, like, y'all have got to get to the point where y'all trust men out here, man, to the point where y'all listen to the man. You in a relationship with a whole man, but you're not listening to that man. And this is more common than people know. This is more common than people know. And what's crazy is you might not listen to the man that you with, but you will listen to another man. So it takes for another man to tell you something for you to finally listen. And you in a whole relationship with a man and he giving you the same advice, the same tips, he telling you the same thing. But it takes for other men to come in and tell you for you to finally listen. We got to stop doing that. Nothing is wrong with listening to your man in a relationship. Nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with listening to that man. You don't want that man, like, what do you want? Then when that man stops talking, when that man stops offering his advice and his suggestions, now you want to say he don't communicate. He don't talk. He don't do this, that, and the third. Because every time I done tried to tell you what to do or tell you something to do or suggest something to do, you don't listen. What's the point? I'm not going to waste my time offering advice to somebody who's not willing to listen or implement the advice. Eventually, I'm going to stop offering my advice. I'm going to just go with the flow. I'm just going to agree with everything you're doing at that particular point. Oh, do whatever you feel. Do whatever you feel. See, people talk about a woman scorn. Let's talk about a man when a man stops caring. See, a lot of times they say, man, when that woman, like, listen, when you go out and things of that nature, when that woman stops caring about your whereabouts and your safety and stuff like that, then now it's a problem. Well, let's talk about that man when that man stops caring to give you advice. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the ramifications behind the man when he don't care no more. When he don't care to give you advice and things of that nature. Peep those signs. Zoe, peace, what's happening? Thunder, yeah, it's up to me, I can handle myself, or it's my body, I'm gonna do what I please, things of that nature. I'm telling y'all, man, like, And I feel like, again, it's all connected to this feminist movement, man, because back in the day, the woman was way more receptive to the advice of the man. Way more receptive to the advice of a man, man. We have got to quit playing sweet tea, peace, what's happening. And shout out to the queens that do listen to their men. Shout out to them. Shout out to the queens that listen to their men, man. Because again, as I said, the man being the head of the household. What does it mean to be the head of the household? See, we deal with knowledge, the foundation. That's where we come into play, giving that advice. Giving that advice, giving that information, giving that knowledge. That's the foundation. That's where we come into play. So when y'all not listening, when it comes to the very foundation of our existence, then what's the point? What's the point? Oh, Antonio, for sure. And that's why I say the Holy Trinity is man, woman, and child. Every time, man. Every time. Every time. Man, woman, and child. And again, man, we bringing that order. We bringing the rules and regulations. If you have a household, the rules and regulations should be laid down by the man. They enforced by the woman. That's how it go. The man is coming in there letting you know what the rules, letting you know what won't happen in this household. Like, that's how I was raised. That's the traditional way. Traditional way. That's how I was raised. My pop said he not finna let a child run this household, things of that nature. So when you got children walking around talking about, I'm 10, I'm 11, I'm 12, I was born a boy, but I identify as a girl, that wasn't flying in my household. That wasn't flying the way I grew up. It wasn't flying. There was no way at 12 or 13 I was finna tell my pops I identify as a girl, I identify as a woman. No, like certain things just wasn't happening. Now, when you got from underneath the roof, you can do what you want to do at that point. But when I'm under that roof, no, it's whatever that father says goes. How many, I can't tell you how many times my moms came in there and was like, man, your dad said, like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can't do that. Y'all can't do this. Like your pop said, like your dad said, you can't, so you can't. It was what my pop said that essentially went down. It's what my pop said that was the rules and regulations. My mom's was the enforcer. She letting the children know what the pop said won't fly. Therefore, we got to listen. Nowadays, you can't have that. Nowadays, what be happening, there's a lot of stuff I see. Nowadays, I see a man lay down a law, but while the man is gone, the woman is allowing the children to go against the grain. She's no longer enforcing it. Yeah, your daddy said you can't do this, but he ain't here now. So we just gonna go ahead and do whatever. So behind the back, the woman ain't enforcing the law. Like, nah, y'all gotta keep, we laid the law down. So now we gotta go out and work. We gotta put in this work. Now it's up to you to enforce the law. Enforce the law that I laid down to this household. Like, nah, not when I make the law, create the laws, the rules and regulations. When I leave, that ain't the time to go against it. No, that's the time to enforce it. Oh, Sharif, man, 100%. 100%. 100%. The feminist movement is just as bad as integration to me, because at the end of the day, once you separate, you creating a problem. Once you say, all right, we're going to step back and we're going to call it I'm a feminist. When I think of black community, I think of a black man, I think of a black woman, I think of a black child. When I think of the black struggle, I think about the struggle of the black man, woman, and child. I don't say black struggle and I just think black man. No, the black woman is always included in the black struggle. So the moment you label yourself as a feminist, you have separated yourself from the black struggle for no reason. Because we not just over here fighting for the rights of men, fighting for the respect of men, of the black man. No, we are fighting for your rights as well. Like that's what they was doing back in the day. We was fighting for the rights of black people, not just black men. So when you separate yourself and say, well, I'm a feminist, I joined the feminist movement. What are you like? What's the point? What's the point? Because when you are part of this black movement, when you are a part of this black struggle, you are included in that. Your rights are included in that. Your respect is included in that. Your power is included in that black struggle. Literally, that's what it is. So you feeding right into the hands of the beast, right into the belly of the beast the moment you say, I'm a feminist. I don't identify with the black struggle. I identify with the feminist movement. You playing right into the hands of the beast at that particular point. Why did you remove yourself from a black struggle and then identify as a feminist? What is the point of that? The black struggle ain't just a black man struggle. It ain't just a black man fight. We fighting for all of us. We fighting for all of us. Zoe for sure, 100%. General and lieutenant. And that's what it is. And that's what it is. I honestly see no need for a feminist movement. Like when a sister comes up to me and talks about being a feminist, my question is why? Why? Why do you feel the need to be a feminist? Like, and again, they start placing all brothers into a box, and which I cannot stand that. I can't stand that. They want to make it seem like it ain't like brothers ain't out here fighting for women. Brothers ain't out here willing to put their life on the line for these women out here, for these sisters out here. I do not like when we get put in those boxes, because when you look at some of our great leaders back in the day, they were not just fighting for black men. They were not just speaking up for black men. Malcolm X, they were fighting for black people. All of our great brothers, all of our great brothers that were assassinated, that were murdered, they were not just fighting for black men, they were fighting for you too. They were fighting for the sisters too. They got assassinated on your behalf as well. So why do you feel the need to label yourself as a feminist when all these great men before us, put their life on the line to fight for you too? They were fighting for black men, black women, black children. All of them. All of them. So stop that nonsense, man. That is dividing, like, again, as my brothers have said, divide and conquer. That is destroying the family structure. Literally what the feminist movement is doing. Nobody wants to admit that. That's on the feminist side, but that's what it's doing. That's what it's doing. It's driving a wedge between the black man and the black woman. The moment you start identifying with the feminists, it's driving the wedge, man. It's driving the wedge between the black man and a black woman. And it's a very unnecessary wedge. Because a lot of times, man, these women start talking about being disrespected, and the whole while I'm like, man, I don't treat women like that. Why are you placing it's causing y'all to place all men in a box. That's one thing that comes with the feminist movement. It causes y'all to place all men in a box. Man, some of us ain't out here doing that. It's a lot of us that's not out here doing what y'all accusing us of doing. A lot of us. It's a lot of us that were raised traditionally, that respect women, that go out of our way to respect women. So when we hear about the stuff that y'all accusing us of, we like, man, what are you talking about? What do y'all even own? Airview, peace, what's happening? Oh, sneaky for sure, man. Like we don't do a lot of crime. We don't do a lot of complaining at all, man. We keep it pushing for the most part, man, because again, we trying to build. We striving to build. We don't really have time for the nonsense, man. So a lot of us, we're not gonna tolerate the nonsense. You know what I'm saying? We gonna speak our piece, but like at the end of the day, we're not about to keep entertaining the nonsense. So we gonna keep it pushing. Like obviously you're not trying to understand where I'm coming from, so I'm gonna keep it pushing. I'm not gonna waste my time on it, man. I got stuff that I'm trying to build. I got a legacy to leave behind. You know what I'm saying? I got wealth to generate. So I can leave it to the future. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't got time for it for the most part. And a lot of sisters, they talk about that. Terenzo, peace, what's happening? A lot of sisters talk about And another thing too, what starts to get me, it's just a lot of myths out here, man. Like a lot of myths that surrounds the black man, and just making it seem like the quality of man out here is just ridiculously trash. There ain't no good man out here. All the good men, this, that, and the third. Whole while, when you peep the environment that some of these women frequent in order to find this good man, then you now understand why they can't find one. You're not going to find a good quality man at the club, at the bar, all these places. It's not going to happen. A lot of the good brothers out here, we focused on our work, man. We trying to put in work. We trying to build. We don't have time to be out here dealing with the public like that, man. So you gotta, listen, you gotta change it up. If you want to attract that good man, man, you gotta go different places. We ain't out here trying to attract a woman that gotta be sloppy drunk every 2 to 3 days. Nah, we don't want that. Before I was married in my relationship, things like that, man, I wasn't trying to find no good quality woman at a club. I wasn't striving to attract a good quality woman at the club. Like, that wasn't what I was on. When I go to the club, man, I'm not going to the club with intentions of finding a wife. No, let's be honest. I'm going to the club with intentions of finding somebody so I can, you know what I'm saying, knock them down. That's it. That's it. I'm going to just keep it real, man. Keep it real in the field. I was once a man, like everybody think like y'all see the relationship, y'all see the marriage. But there was a point in time where I wasn't in a relationship when I wasn't married. So I was living, man. I was living just like a man. When I'm going to the club, I'm not going to the club like, all right, I'm finna find my next missus in the club. No, I'm in the club, I'm scoping the scene, and I'm only thinking, listen, I'm only thinking physically here. I'm like, all right, man, I'm finna see which chick in this club I can take home, do something too. That's my mindset in the club. That's my mindset in the club, man, these bars, things like that. When I used to go to the clubs, that's just how it was. That's just how it was, man. I ain't finna find no good quality. I wasn't looking for good quality at no bar, at no club. And a lot of times, some of these women, that's what they doing. Like you trying to look for good quality at a club or a bar, and then get mad when you don't come across it. Bobby, for sure, man. That's why, and I tell people all the time, man. I be like, where did you meet these like clubs and all that type of stuff, man? Like, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy the amount of women that entertain dudes from like the club, the bars, all that, and prison. It's crazy. But then when you, but you a hard working brother out here, man. You get labeled lame, boring because you're not trying to go out. Hey, I'd rather read a book with you on Saturday night opposed to going out in the club. Oh, you lame. Oh, that's boring. Okay. Back in the day, I got labeled that a lot. So I can relate to a lot of that, man. Back in the day, man, when people wasn't understanding my vibe because I was a youngin' at that time. I'm 20, I'm 21. I had did enough partying in high school and stuff like that. I had did enough partying back then to where I'm good now. Like, I don't need to party no more. That stuff was never for me, but I was doing it back in the day. When I started shifting my focus, a lot of people wasn't understanding it, man. So you would rather sit up at the crib and you would rather read than go out. Like, that's boring. What you do for fun? Like, that's what literally people used to ask me that. I used to be like, nah, man, I'm like reading these books, staying home studying. That's fun to me. So people didn't equate reading books, working out, and chilling with fun. Like a lot of women back in the day, that wasn't fun. And then they had to ask, what do you do for fun outside of that? I'm like, no, what I just told you is what I do for fun. Reading books, that's very fun to me. Chilling at the crib is fun. Listening to music, that's fun. Like, all of this is fun to me. Nah, what you like, that's all you do? Yes, that's all I do. And guess what? I'm going to be around for a long time just doing that. You ain't got to worry about me getting shot and killed because I'm going to be at the crib reading these books after I leave work. That's what I'm going to do. So you ain't got to worry about that. You ain't got to worry about it. So I get it, man. Like I get it when a lot of my brothers that fit this criteria start talking about how they get overlooked, because I've seen it firsthand. I've experienced it firsthand. I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of sisters, and not all the sisters like that. And again, I tell people, if the shoe fits, wear it. If the shoe don't fit, then we're not talking about you. And a lot of people don't know and understand that. So for all my sisters that don't view these men as lame, that have embraced these men, we fool with y'all 100%. We ain't talking to y'all. This ain't for y'all. Y'all good in our book. We not talking to y'all. We talking about the sisters that be out here acting like good men don't exist, because they keep overlooking the good men, calling them boring and all that type of stuff, because they don't want to be out here drinking and clubbing every other day. I'm talking to y'all right now. And then y'all joining feminist movement, bashing men, this, that, and the third, because y'all done been trash at picking men. It's almost like being in the front office of a sports team and you just bad at picking talent, man. And instead of you saying, man, I'm just bad at picking talent, I'm just bad at scouting, I start saying, man, all these new age basketball players or these new age football players, they all just trash. No, I'm trash at scouting. I'm trash at picking talent. It's other teams out here that are good, that have great talent. I'm just bad at picking the talent. So sometimes that's how some women gotta approach it. Y'all just bad at scouting. Y'all just bad at prospecting. Y'all just bad at picking the talent. That's just what it is. And that's just an actual fact. Some of y'all are bad at scouting. Some of you women are bad at scouting the men. That's just what it is. And y'all just got to admit that fact. And the sooner you realize that, and the sooner you admit that fact, then the better your situation, like the faster your situation can change and reverse. Terenzo, appreciate that donation, my brother. And the breakdown, of course, of the word fun. Etymology, man, is important. Knowing the origin of words. I was just reading about that from a book I got from Brother Amos Wilson. Amos N. Wilson was talking about the power of words and understanding language on both ends. So we got to understand our original language, and we got to understand the language of the oppressor, things like that, because as Elijah Muhammad talked about, trick knowledge. So that's how they trick us a lot of time, by utilizing language, utilizing words, things like that. And he talked about words being political, words being economical, things like that, man. He was just really going in about the power of words and language. But Amos Wilson, he talks a lot about that for the most part. That's why I say Amos Wilson is very under the radar. Sharif, man, for sure, man. Listen. Sharif, man, I'm telling you, man, when I first started transitioning, when I first acquired that knowledge of self, when I really was tapped in, man, I'm telling you, man, people was like, man, dude, what dude be on? Like, what is this dude on? Like, dude, I heard you don't want to go out? You don't want to go to the club? Like, no, why? Why would I want to go? First of all, I'm going to go to a club where they play music that I don't even like. There's going to be a bunch of people in there that I don't even like. Like, what's the point? What's the point of the club, man? What's the point of the club, man? I ain't got time for that, man. So a lot of times, man, a lot of men that just stay low key, stay out of the way. We a lot of times we get underappreciated. You get underappreciated because we can easily be out here, and then when something bad happens, then like now y'all feeling some type of way. Now y'all crying and all that type of stuff. Because y'all wanted us to get out here. Y'all wanted us to be out here and doing all type of nonsense, man. Embrace that man that's a homebody, man. Embrace that. Embrace that man that was a homebody. And the wife is in the building, y'all say peace to the wife. And nah, it wasn't that. It wasn't even that. It was just, I know the mentality of men in clubs. Because I was once a young man that went to the clubs. So I know the mentality that comes with it. I know the mentality of a man in a club, man. It is not that righteous. A man ain't in the club for the most part saying, all right, I'm finna find my next wife in this club. I'm finna find my next wife in this bar. Like, nah, 9 times out of 10, that's not his mentality. That's not why the man is at the club. The man that's at the club might already be married, might already be in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I just know and understand the mentality of the man that's at the club. Like, you're not going to that club looking to get tied down. That's not really why you're going to that club. It's not why you're going to the club, man. As a man, that's not what you want when you go to the club. It's just not what you want. That's literally not what you want. And Craig, I'm telling you, overpriced alcohol and toxic energy. 100%. 100%. Toxic energy, man. Very toxic energy. Very toxic. It's like, man, when I look back on it now, I don't even understand. Like, I was like, man, what was I on? Why was I even going to these places, man? That stuff was never my vibe, man. But I was there, man, just out of the strength of you ain't want to be that dude back in the day, man. You in high school, all your friends going out. You're like, man, I'm gonna go ahead and go out. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and go to this club. Go ahead and go to this little spot. Most of the attention that I would generate from going out, man, I never could fool. I couldn't fool with them. I mean, I couldn't fool with it, man. I couldn't fool with it. See, see, a lot of women talk about thirsty dudes, but don't get me started on thirsty women. Don't get me started on thirsty women. Don't get me started on thirsty women, man. Don't get me started on that. And I'm going to give y'all a jewel. I'm 30 years old, man. I went to one strip club, and it wasn't really even a strip club. So I'd never even really been to an actual strip club, and I'm 30. I had no desire to go to an actual strip club. No desire whatsoever. I was never fascinated with strip clubs. I went once, matter of fact, I went twice. The one time we actually got in, it wasn't even a strip club. We got misled, so it wasn't even a strip club. And we was in high school. And the second time, one of the homeboys wasn't old enough, he wasn't 18 or whatever at the time, couldn't get in, so we left. Those are the only 2 times I went to some strip clubs. Other than that, have not been to a strip club. Never had any desire to go to a strip club. Never had any desire to see women in that light. Never had any desire. I might be a rare breed of man to have never been to a strip club. Literally, I might be the only one. I've literally never been to an actual strip club and still don't care to go, never cared to go. Never cared to go. Like, I was never fascinated with strip clubs. Never. So I know I'm probably a rare breed of man in regards to that, but I've never been fascinated with strip clubs. I never wanted to see women in that light. I just never, I don't fool with it. I don't fool with that. Sherwin, appreciate that donation. And yet, Terenzo, I'm telling you. See, a lot of times, see what happens, and the reason why I have to say this, the reason why I have to speak on that is because a lot of times I get on social media and I see a lot of women airing thirsty dudes out that's all in their DMs, that's inboxing them and things like that. I'm like, look, listen. It's crazy because some of the women that be out here exposing dudes be in other dudes' inboxes and DMs and things like that. You know what I'm saying? But dudes don't care enough to be exposing the women like that, man. So a lot of times, man, listen, dudes can be out here exposing these thirsty women too. Dudes can be out here exposing these women that's in relationships and married and all that still be cheating on the low. Dudes can do that as well. Because that's also happening. You know what I'm saying? So people be acting like that stuff is not in existence, and people act like that stuff don't happen. Nah, it does happen. It's real in the field on both ends, for real. You melanated origin, you say a lot of people thirsty, for sure. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't like people trying to expose individuals. Like, I don't like that, man. I don't like when you just try to put somebody on blast. Like, I feel like that's so unnecessary. I feel like that's very unnecessary, man, just to put somebody on blast, man. What's stopping you from just blocking a person and moving on? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point of putting that person on blast, man? Because then when somebody put y'all on blast, y'all get in y'all feelings. If somebody is harassing you in the inbox, now I can see if it was somebody literally like physically stalking you and they, you know what I'm saying, you feel like it was a threat and you got to put other people on game to this particular individual. But man, sometimes they don't even be that, man. They just put somebody on blast for no apparent reason. And then when somebody do the same to them, now they getting in their feelings, they getting all emotional when they want to cry. Hey, Terenzo, I can imagine. I just from what I've seen on what I've seen in her, like I don't even care about it. And somebody tell the wife to go play Uno or something, man. The wife on her tripping again. Tell her to get back to her Uno game. She must have just woke up or something. Yeah, Zoe, you say it's unmanly for sure. Like I just, man, I can't. When I'm in that environment, like I feel bad for the strip. Like I just don't like the vibe of a strip. Like I just don't like the vibe. Like I just can't get. I can't get with it. I can't get with it. Like I just feel like, you know what I'm saying, my sisters in here degrading themselves, and like I can't condone it, man. It don't sit well with me. It never sat well with me, man, to try to like to condone that, man. I just can't do it. Can't do it. I'm like, man, I feel like it goes against my principles to be in this strip club condoning this type of behavior. I really don't. So it don't sit well with the kid to be in this particular environment. Like I can't do like the mere act of throwing money at a woman dancing. Like I like that do not sit well with the kid, man. Like I just don't that don't sit well with the kid, man. That's almost like some slave master type stuff, man. Just throwing money at you. Throwing money at you. Boom. Go on dance. Show off your physical assets and I'm gonna throw money at you. Like, man, no. Yeah, Sanchez, man. I'm saying, man, I feel like I will be in there feeling straight bad. I'm probably a rare breed, man. We probably a rare breed, but if I'm in that joint, I'm in there feeling straight bad. Like I'm like, man, this all bad. It's pathetic. Like I straight feel bad. Like why are you in here doing that? Like literally, why are you in here doing that? Like why are you in here exposing yourself to these thirsty dudes? And then I'm looking at the dudes and they're like, y'all pathetic too. Like I'm just mad. Like I can't go in no environment like that. I just be mad. The wife is at the nail shop, y'all. Tell her to focus on her nails and stop the trolling. Oh, Kurt, yeah, nah, I never do that. Like that's definitely degrading. 100% degrading right there. God, good gracious, no. Oh, Terenzo, man, I'm telling you. Even like I said, the time where we didn't even get in, and I already felt bothered. I'm like, man, we ain't even get in here, yo. Like we ain't even inside the joint, and I already feel the vibe. Like, nah, this just ain't even right. So it's like, man, like the older I got, and it didn't take long for me. Like I'm talking about 19, 20. The older I got, like I just couldn't find myself in certain environments where I saw women degrading themselves, man. Like I just couldn't tolerate it. Like I just felt some type of way about it. Like, dude, why? Like you feel like this the best that you had to offer? Like you feel like this all you have to offer? What you gonna do when you get older? Like, and dudes don't want to see that. Like, what you gonna do then? What you gonna have to offer then? Like I know you got to have more to offer than your physical. Like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on here? You can't feel like this is all you have to offer, yo. Like I can't stand it. Oh, sneaky for sure. For sure. 100%. We love to listen to the rumors, man. I can't tell you how many times like we'll share a meme with the quickness. We'll share a meme without fact checking that meme with the quickness. And that's how rumors start right there. Then a rumor that started, now you got to spend all your time disproving the rumor, disproving the allegations. Like, that's horrible. You know what I'm saying? When you got to spend an enormous amount of time and energy disproving something that never even happened. And you know it didn't happen. So like that's a sad way to live, man. That's a sad way to live. That's a sad way to live for sure, man. But I can't stand to see my sisters degrade themselves. And that's what I'm talking about in regards to the feminist movement, man. Like, you got brothers out here that genuinely care for the sisters out here. And for the most part, when you got brothers out here that's fighting for the black struggle, that's fighting for black people, we are fighting for the sisters too. But it's hard to fight for the sister when the sister feel like she has to separate herself and label herself as a feminist, when she don't even feel like she a part of the black struggle, the black community. It makes it hard to fight for a sister that embodies that. Like, no, you part of this black community, you part of this black struggle. So when I'm fighting for black people, when I'm fighting for the black community, I'm fighting for you. But when you separate yourself from it, then now I'm not fighting for you. When you label yourself as a feminist and you say you don't want anything to do with the black community and the black struggle and things of that nature, when you don't want to associate yourself with a black man, then I'm no longer fighting for you. I'm no longer fighting for you. You can stay with that feminist community and y'all fight. Y'all fight for y'all rights over there. I'm fighting for the rights of black men, women, black men, women, and children. That's what I'm fighting for. That's what I'm fighting for. That's what I'm talking about. Jamar, for sure. Like, I mean, it's no longevity in that. No longevity in that at all. But yeah, I'm fighting for all those rights, man. But when you feel the need to label yourself as a feminist, then go ahead and do you. Go ahead and do you. So we can't, like, as brothers, it ain't our duty to save them women. When a woman decides, well, I'm a feminist, I don't want anything to do with the black struggle, then we gotta let them be. We gotta let them be. We gotta let them live in that disillusioned world. I'm gonna let them be. I'm not convincing you of anything because I'm not gonna be able to. If you feel that your whole fight is separate from the actual black struggle, then that's on you. It's on you. Because when we are victorious, then I don't want you jumping ship. Nah, stay over there with the feminists. Y'all got a whole different struggle over there. You stay over there. When we are victorious over here, when the people that's fighting for the black community, when we are victorious, I don't want y'all associating yourselves with this particular movement, with this particular fight. Because no, y'all are feminists. Y'all don't identify with this black struggle. So I'm good. Y'all stay over there. Y'all stay over there. Stay over there with the feminists. Like I said, when we reign victorious over here, then don't come crying. Don't come talking to us now. Craig, it hurts, but we got to do it because it ain't no convincing them at that particular point. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, this is a good stream. Y'all gonna see me later on, man. Me and the wife, we gonna stream. We gonna talk about healthy eating and things like that. So I'm gonna be tapped into her live and whatnot on her channel. But I got my client about to walk in, man. So I'm about to kill him, man. So I appreciate all the comments, all the donations, all that good stuff. I'm gonna catch y'all later on. Make sure y'all tune into the wife's live. I'm gonna be on that joint. We gonna be building. Y'all know how I go when we get together. So make sure y'all tune in later on. But I'm gonna catch y'all later, man. Y'all enjoy the next few hours, man. I'm out, y'all. Peace.